Assalamu alaikum.
Everyone, in today's episode, we are going to talk about something very simple but very powerful: how to think in English. This is a problem that many learners have. Even if your life is busy, even if you feel shy, even if you don't live in an English-speaking country, you can still learn to think in English step by step. Many people believe that they must move to the UK or the US to learn English well. But this is not true. You don't need to live in London. You don't need a native speaker next to you all the time. And you don't need to study for many hours every night. What you really need are small and smart steps. Steps that are easy to repeat every day. Steps that fit into your daily life. For example, speaking for 1 minute in the morning, listening while you're walking, or thinking in English when you are alone. These small habits may look simple, but over time, they create real change. If you live in a country where people speak English every day, you will hear it often. You will use it often. So slowly, English becomes part of your thinking. You don't need to translate anymore. When you want to say something, the sentence comes directly in English. But for most people, this is not their situation. Most learners live in places where English is not used every day. This may be your situation too. Maybe you study by yourself. Maybe you only use English when you watch videos or read something online. And when you try to speak, you feel slow. You think in your language first, then you try to change it into English. This takes time. And sometimes your sentence sounds strange because English has a different structure. For example, in your language, you may say something like, "I very like this," but in English, we say, "I really like this." This is why translating in your head can make speaking difficult and unnatural. Let me tell you the real problem. You are not slow because your English is bad. You are slow because you are translating. Your brain is trying to do two things at the same time. First, you think in your own language. Then you try to change it into English. This takes time. And while you are thinking, the conversation is already moving. That is why you feel nervous. That is why you stop. Think about this. Someone asks you a simple question like, "What did you do today?" You understand it, but before you answer, your brain goes back to your language first. Then you try to build the English sentence. And in that moment, you feel stuck. This is not because you are not good. It is because your brain is working too hard. But here is the good news. When you stop translating, everything becomes faster and easier. You can train your brain to think directly in English. You don't need a special talent. You just need practice and a simple method. And today, I will show you how to do that. Let's begin with one of the most powerful techniques, shadowing. Maybe you have heard this word before, or maybe it is new to you. Shadowing is a simple but very effective way to improve both your listening and your speaking at the same time. Here is how it works. You listen to someone speaking English, like a podcast, a video, or even this audio. Then you repeat what you hear. You don't stop to think. You don't translate. You don't check the dictionary. You just listen and repeat like an echo. Try to copy not only the words, but also the sound, the speed, and the rhythm. This is very important because English is not just words. It has a flow. Let's try it together. I will say a sentence and you repeat after me. I want to speak English fluently. Now you repeat. I listen to English every day. Now you repeat. Shadowing helps me think and speak better. Now you repeat. That is shadowing. At first, it may feel strange. You may feel like you are speaking too fast. You may not understand every word, but that is okay. Shadowing is not about understanding everything. It is about training your brain and your mouth to work together. Think about music. When you learn a song, you don't understand every word at first, but you listen, you repeat, and slowly you can sing it. Language works in a similar way. If you practice shadowing every day, even for 5 minutes, you will start to notice something. Your speaking becomes faster, your pronunciation becomes clearer, and your sentences start to feel more natural. This is because your brain is getting used to English patterns. Now, let's come back to the main question, how to think in English. Many students tell me the same thing. I want to improve, but I don't have time. Or I feel nervous when I speak. Or I don't know how to start. And my answer is always simple. You don't need a lot of time. You don't need perfect grammar. And you don't need to wait for the perfect moment. You just need to begin. Let's begin with one of the most powerful techniques, shadowing. Maybe you have heard this word before, or maybe it is new to you. Shadowing is a simple but very effective way to improve both your listening and your speaking at the same time. Here is how it works. You listen to someone speaking English, like a podcast, a video, or even this audio. Then you repeat what you hear. You don't stop to think. You don't translate. You don't check the dictionary. You just listen and repeat like an echo. Try to copy not only the words, but also the sound, the speed, and the rhythm. This is very important because English is not just words. It has a flow. For example, when you wake up, you can say in your mind, I feel tired today, or I have a busy day. When you are eating, you can think, this food is good, or I want more water. These are simple sentences, but they help your brain switch to English. Over time, you will stop translating. You will start thinking directly. So in this episode, I will share 5 simple and powerful ways that you can use English every day in your real life. No matter where you are, no matter how busy you are. Let's begin. Tip number 1 is simple but very powerful. Think in English one thought at a time. This is one of the biggest changes you can make when learning English. Many people try to translate everything from their own language, and this makes speaking slow and difficult. So instead of translating full sentences, you start with small thoughts. At the beginning, this will feel a little difficult. Your brain will want to go back to your native language. That is normal. But you don't need to fight it too hard. You just need to guide your thinking step by step. Start with short and simple sentences in your mind. For example, when you wake up, you can think, it's morning, I feel sleepy, I need a coffee. When you walk outside, you can say in your mind, the sky is blue, the air is cold, I see a dog. During your day, you can think, I am working, I feel tired, I want to go home. These are very simple thoughts, but they are very important. They help your brain connect directly to English. You are not translating, you are thinking, and that is the goal. Later, you can try to say these sentences out loud. You don't need to speak loudly. You can whisper or speak quietly. It may feel strange at first, but it is like having a small conversation with yourself. And this is one of the best ways to practice. Most teachers and experts say the same thing. Start small. A good first step is to think in single words. Look around you right now. What do you see? Try to name things in English. For example, phone, table,